Have you ever noticed that? Why some people, some leaders maybe, just seem to effortlessly connect. Like they walk into a room and bam, people are drawn to them even before they really say much.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you see others maybe with brilliant ideas, great messages, solid strategies, but they struggle to get heard, struggle to make that connection stick.
Yeah, it's a real
Yeah.
puzzle sometimes.
It's something I've thought about a lot, especially now. We're supposedly more connected than ever, but it often feels, well, the opposite. Anyway, I dove into some sources recently that offered this really profound way of looking at it. It wasn't about the usual suspects, the message, the plan, the credentials.
Right.
It was about something they called life-giving presence.
Life-giving presence, okay.
Yeah, and what really grabbed me, honestly, something I hadn't quite put my finger on before, was how these sources defined real influence.
Yeah.
They basically argue it starts way before the tasks or the marketing.
Okay, how so?
It starts with just being known, being trusted, being genuinely present for the people around you.
So relational.
Exactly, not some, corporate jargon. They frame it as this authentic, relational, holistic, and really intentional force. Something that shapes things quietly, even, like they said, before a single word is spoken.
Wow. That's a big idea. Your presence itself setting the stage.
Right, imagine that.
And it really hits home when you look at the world today, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That paradox the sources point out. We're swimming in communication texts, email, social media, nonstop feeds.
Oh yeah, overload.
Total overload. And yet, study after study, people are reporting feeling more disconnected, more lonely, more anxious.
It's true.
Attention spans, they're shrinking. And authenticity. Well, you used to maybe assume it, right?
Yeah.
Now, you absolutely have to earn it.
You really do.
These digital distractions, these huge cultural shifts, they've kind of fragmented our communities. Real deep human connection, it's becoming rare.
Like a commodity.
Almost, yeah. And the sources are pretty blunt.
Yeah.
If you ignore this art of presence, whether you're leading a team, raising kids, just living your life, you risk, well, becoming irrelevant.
Yeah.
In a world that's actually starving for real connection.
Starving for connection. That's a strong way to put it.
Well, it feels accurate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So understanding this presence thing, it's not just academic. It's kind of a shortcut to figuring out how influence actually works now.
Okay, so if authenticity has to be earned and connection is rare, what's the biggest hurdle? According to these sources, what stops us from cultivating this presence? And more importantly, what can we actually do?
A good question.
Because that's what we want to unpack today, right? Our mission for this deep dive is to really get into this idea, establishing a life-giving presence. What is it, really? Where does it come from? The source is rooted in some really deep wisdom, drawing a lot from biblical perspectives. And then the practical bit. How can you, listening right now, actually cultivate this? How can you make your presence, your authentic presence, maybe your most persuasive tool?
Well, the sources definitely give us a lot to work with there. They build this profound foundation for presence, historically and theologically, going way back, like right to the beginning.
Okay.
If you connect it to the big picture, think about Genesis, that image of God breathing life into the first human. It's not just about starting the engine, so to speak.
Right.
It's about life itself, originating from God's presence, described as dynamic, relational, life-infusing. That act itself, that presence, kind of sets the pattern. It suggests our presence can also carry that spark, life, hope, connection.
Interesting. So it's baked in from the start.
Seems to be the argument, yeah. And throughout the Old Testament, you see God's presence shown as a sustaining, guiding force. The pillar of cloud and fire in the desert.
Yeah, leading the Israelites.
Exactly. It wasn't just directions. It was like embodied reassurance, protection, a constant reminder, I'm with you.
Wow.
The core idea being that a steady, reliable presence builds trust and gives direction, whether it's divine or, human.
That makes sense. That pillar wasn't just a signpost, it was the presence. But okay, grounding it in the Old Testament is powerful, but how does that resonate today? For someone maybe not steeped in those texts, how do they grasp this life-infusing presence practically?
Yeah, fair question. And that's really where the sources pivot to Jesus's ministry as like the ultimate blueprint.
Okay.
Because what's so compelling is he didn't just lay out doctrines, he lived it. He embodied love, embodied presence.
Right, the action spoke.
Totally.
Yeah.
Take the story, the Samaritan woman at the well. Here's Jesus, a Jewish man, deliberately engaging with a Samaritan woman, like totally crossing social and religious lines back then, at a public well.
A very visible act.
Very. And his presence, patient, attentive, non-judgmental.
Yeah.
That's what sparked her transformation. It wasn't some big lecture first. She ends up becoming this conduit of life-giving testimony, the sources say. Not because of what he told her about her past, but because of how he saw her, how he treated her right there.
That's a great example. And the one that really hit me from the sources was Zacchaeus.
Ah, yes. Good one.
This guy, right? Rich tax collector, basically an outcast. And Jesus just notices him, calls him down from a tree.
Sees him.
Sees him. And the change doesn't start with a rule book or a "you need to fix this" list. It starts with Jesus saying, "I'm coming to your house." Just being willing to enter his space, treat him with dignity.
That incarnational presence again.
Exactly. That idea, a principle, a spirit taking physical form, dwelling among us. That presence spoke volumes before anything else. It prepared the ground. Relationally, it was human connection first.
Precisely. And that incarnational presence is so central. The sources really try to unpack what this presence actually looks like day to day. It's not just some vague charisma.
Right, it's got to be tangible.
Yeah, it's a way of being. We can kind of break it down into a few key characteristics, all interwoven.
Okay, let's hear them.
First up, intentionality. This isn't just, stumbling into situations.
Showing up by accident.
Right. The sources stress it's about showing up, having already done the inner work, prepared yourself. Like Jesus often withdrawing to pray before big moments.
Right, getting centered.
Getting centered. It's a deliberate choice, a pre-commitment to be fully there, focused outwards, not just reacting, choosing to genuinely engage.
So it's deeper than just being available. It's about being truly attentive. Man, I can think of so many times I'm technically in a conversation, but my brain's still churning through emails or my to-do list.
We all do it.
Yeah, but these sources are really saying, bring your whole self, be present.
Exactly, which flows right into the next one, relational depth. This is about seeing people as, well, the sources use the term image bearers of God, but fundamentally as unique individuals with inherent worth.
Beyond what they can do for you.
Totally beyond utility, prioritizing that authentic connection. There's a bit where the Apostle Paul talks about his care for a community being gentle, like a mother with her children.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that kind of deep, empathetic connection where, gentleness and real attentiveness become powerful.
That paints a picture. Okay, what else?
Then there's transformative patience. And this isn't just waiting around passively. It's an active, kind of enduring investment. It understands that real change, deep change, often happens slowly, like yeast in dough, right? The slow rise.
Exactly. It reshapes things from the inside out, often through just sustained, gentle presence and pressure. Our world wants everything now.
Instant results, yeah.
But real presence, the sources argue, gets the power of the long game, the slow burn.
Reading about transformative patience, my mind immediately jumped to that crazy overflowing inbox again or some big messy project at work. The urge is just to power through, right? Get it done.
Sure is.
But this suggests real impact might come from, engaging differently, more patiently, taking that long game view.
Precisely. Appreciating the process, not just the outcome. And tied closely to that is embodied compassion.
Okay, embodied meaning.
Meaning it's tangible. It goes beyond just feeling sorry for someone or having good intentions. It shows up in actions.
Like what? Like actually feeding the hungry, sitting with someone who's grieving, speaking up for justice, offering mercy when maybe it's not deserved. It's compassion made visible, made real.
Got it. Not just thoughts and prayers, but actions.
Exactly. And holding all this together is authenticity and foundational grounding. This is about integrity, basically.
Yeah.
Your words and actions lining up, who you are inside, matching who you are outside.
Walking the talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The sources argue this authenticity isn't something you can just fake. It flows from being anchored in something bigger than yourself, cultivated inwardly, through practices like prayer, meditation, quiet reflection, whatever works for you.
So the inner life fuels the outer presence.
That's the idea. It grounds you, and that naturally connects to humility and vulnerability.
Okay.
Choosing to let people see you're human, admitting mistakes, genuinely valuing others, maybe putting their needs first sometimes. The image of Jesus washing his disciples' feet comes up here.
Yeah, powerful image. Service from a place of leadership.
Right. It shows profound service and vulnerability, too. That builds incredible trust and connection. It dismantles barriers.
Okay, wow, that's a rich picture. Intentionality, relational depth, patience, embodied compassion, authenticity, humility. It's a lot to take in.
It is. It's not a simple checklist.
Definitely not. So let's get practical. For someone listening thinking, okay, I want more of that in my life. I want my presence to mean something. What does this actually look like day to day? The sources give some pointers, right?
They do, yeah. Really actionable stuff, actually. It's about weaving this into the fabric of your week, making visibility and connection a deliberate practice.
Okay, how?
Well, first, there's the personal integration piece, starting with some honest self-reflection. Maybe keep a journal for a bit.
Hmm.
Notice your interactions. When did you feel truly present, life-giving? When did distractions or your own inner noise kind of take over?
Okay, self-awareness first.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Then consciously try to align your values and actions. If you say connection matters, where are you actually investing your focused time and attention?
Good question. Put your time where your mouth is.
Pretty much. And maybe intentionally learn some skills,
Yeah.
like really practice active listening or empathy. There are tons of resources out there.
Sure.
Another big one, seek feedback. Ask people you trust. Hey, when we talk, do I make you feel heard? Seen. That takes guts, but it's gold.
Yeah, vulnerable, but valuable.
For sure. And practice forgiveness for yourself when you mess up, because you will, and for others. Stops resentment building up and closing you off. And finally, those daily rhythms we talked about, prayer, quiet reflection, whatever centers you, and literally scheduling time for presence, putting it in the calendar.
Scheduling presence. I like that. It makes it intentional.
Exactly. Then there's this really cool concept the sources call the geography of grace.
Geography of Greece. Okay, intriguing.
It's basically about how your physical places, your social environment, can become like a canvas for radiating this positive influence and connection.
Else.
Well, first, living in your Jerusalem,
Mm-hmm.
which just means being intentionally present right where you are, your actual neighborhood, your workplace, your kid's school, whatever. Engage there.
Don't just commute through life.
Right. And even housing choices can play a role. The sources suggest your home can be more than just a place to crash. It can be a hub for hospitality, maybe mentoring someone, building community. Even things like intentional proximity, shared living, if that's your thing,
Well,
can create those organic interactions.
thinking differently about space.
Yeah. And then there are third places, those spots outside home and work.
Cafes, parks, libraries.
Exactly. Cafes, parks, libraries, community centers. The sources call them modern-day wells and marketplaces, places people gather.
Okay.
The advice is, be a regular, show up consistently, participate genuinely, but maybe without a hidden agenda. Just be there, be approachable, be humble. Jesus spent time in places like that, just being with people.
Right, just part of the community fabric.
Totally. And finally, establish consistent daily rhythms. Weave visibility into your week. Maybe it's a regular neighborhood walk, always shopping at the same local store, working from a public spot sometimes, even just sitting on your front porch more often.
Small things.
Tiny, consistent things. But they build trust over time. They create openings for relationship, almost without you trying too hard.
That's really encouraging, actually, that it doesn't have to be some grand, dramatic gesture, just small, consistent acts of showing up.
Absolutely. That's a huge part of it. Moving beyond the big moments to integrate it into everyday life. But like you said earlier, presence isn't passive. It has to lead somewhere.
Right, it needs to connect to action.
Which brings us to serving with open hands. The sources are really clear here. Before you jump in to help, you have to listen to the community.
Observe first.
Observe, listen. What are the actual unmet needs? What are the local traditions, the hopes people have? It's not about imposing your brilliant ideas.
Okay, listen first, then.
Then embody humility. Approach any service as a partnership, not like you're the rich patron bestowing favors.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about meeting people eye to eye, offering help without needing applause or recognition. That Good Samaritan story is held up as a model, just tangible care, offered without judgment to someone unexpected.
Practical help.
Practical help. And lastly, ensure cultural relevance. Serve in ways that actually make sense and resonate within that specific community. Collaborate with local leaders if possible. Respect the context. It's not just about doing good, but about co-laboring, bringing that life-giving presence with people.
Co-laboring. I like that. It implies partnership.
Exactly. So if we kind of zoom out from the practical tips and look at the bigger picture again, this whole idea of life-giving presence, it really pushes back against a lot of our current culture, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, our obsession with speed, with being visible, with getting results we can measure right now.
Yeah, the metrics game.
This reframes all of that. The sources hammer this point. Presence before proclamation. Influence, real influence, starts with being, not just doing or yelling.
You have to prepare the soil first.
Beautifully put. That relational soil has to be tilled, nurtured, before any seed of truth or message can actually take root. Your very presence, calm, attentive, respectful, communicates value and builds trust before you even open your mouth to persuade or teach.
So it's not just a tactic.
Oh, much more than that.
Yeah.
The sources call it a theological imperative, an echo of incarnation.
Back to that idea.
Yeah. Just like in the Christian narrative, God became flesh and dwelt among people, lived with them. We're kind of called to do the same, to embody presence, relationally, vulnerably, authentically, moving beyond just talking at people, to actually participating with them and bringing life and hope.
It sounds like the kind of influence that lasts, too, not just a flash in the pan. It fosters a sort of sustainable and multiplicative influence.
That's exactly the right word. Sustainable.
Right.
Influence grounded in genuine presence. It endures. It outlasts programs and strategies.
Because it builds trust.
Deep trust. And it inspires imitation, doesn't it? When you experience that kind of presence, you want to offer it too. It creates ripples through families, workplaces, neighborhoods, churches, wider society.
It helps put things back together.
Yeah, it offers coherence, maybe, to individuals feeling fragmented. It models stability in relationships. It's a powerful counterstory to all the loneliness and division out there. By just faithfully being that presence, you become like a conduit for that life-giving energy, making real connection possible again.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up, pull the main threads together. What we've really dug into today is this concept of life-giving presence. Not just a vague idea, but this authentic, relational, intentional force, something that remarkably speaks volumes before you even say a word.
Right, the being before the doing.
Exactly. And we saw how it's rooted deep in ancient wisdom from creation itself through Old Testament examples, and really culminating in Christ's ministry, that incarnational presence.
The ultimate model.
And it shows up through these key characteristics, that intentionality, the patience, the embodied compassion, real authenticity, humility, and staying consistently attuned, grounded.
Yeah, all working together.
And importantly, it's not just theory. It's about concrete choices in how you integrate it personally, the third places you inhabit, your daily rhythms, and crucially, how you serve with those open listening hands. It's about investing in being known, trusted, truly present.
Well said. It really is an investment.
So maybe a final thought to leave people with.
Okay, well, consider this. We live in this world just drowning in information, right? Data everywhere. But people are starving for genuine connection.
They're starving.
So just imagine. Imagine the power, the transformative potential if your presence, just your steady, attentive, embodied love and care became the most profound message you ever delivered.
Presence as the message.
Yeah. What kind of impact would that leave, not just in tasks done or words spoken, but in the actual architecture of connection you build, in people's hearts, in your community? Something lasting, something life-giving.
That's a powerful question to ponder.
So maybe the real question for you, listening, is, are you ready to make that investment? The investment in being seen, being known, being trusted, letting your presence pave the way, allowing your very being to become that conduit for hope, maybe even healing, in a world that desperately needs it.